Hey everybody, it's Lorana and I'm back with another video, and today I want to talk another one-on-101. One of those videos where I tell you what I think is like the dating fundamentals that sometimes seems to be missing from the dating world today. And that is, when a woman gives you her number, it is not for you to begin to flood her phone with memes and photos and text messages necessarily, especially if the first thing that you say to her when you get her phone number is that you're going to call her. Do not then proceed to fill her phone with text messages. Like, if you want to stand out from the other men that are out here, call. That is one of the lost arts. I mean, especially, I think I'm probably from the one of the last generations of people that actually made phone calls. Like, I remember when I was a kid in like 8th grade, sitting on the phone talking to somebody a boy that I liked for hours, and I mean just hours, talking about any and everything that eighth graders and 7th graders or whatever talk about, you know? And nowadays, when you get somebody's phone number, the object is not necessarily to call them, it's to sit and text all day. And so, anyway, I had this weekend a situation with a guy who we had chatted a little bit on one of the dating apps. And it was fine, you know. And he said, "Oh, well, would you like to talk on the phone?" So I'm like, okay, sure, you know, because at first I hesitated because we hadn't been talking that long, and I don't really like to give my number out when I haven't been talking to somebody for that long. But I was like, well, what do I have to lose? You know, I'm always kind of hoping for people that want to get off the chat box for, you know, pretty quickly and start getting in a little bit more into the real world of actually talking to someone face to face. So, like, before that step of getting face to face, you know, it's nice to talk on the phone, I guess, and see what that person is talking and thinking about. So I was like, all right, cool. So I gave him my number, and he told me, you know, okay, well, I'll call you right now. And about a half an hour went by and I hadn't heard anything. And of course, it's Saturday, so like, I've got 1,000 things that I need to do. So instead of waiting any longer, I simply sent him a text because, oh, wait, rewind a little bit. When I first gave him my number, he proceeded to send me an emoji in WhatsApp. So that was the first communication. Instead of him calling me, he sent me an emoji first. To which I think I responded back with another emoji, or maybe I ignored it. I can't remember. Either way, I was like, okay, you just told me you were going to call me right now. And instead of calling me, you decide to send me an emoji. Okay. So I, you know, lay in my bed watching TV because it's Saturday morning. And eventually I'm like, okay, well, I need to get up and start doing my day. So after he sent me that, a half an hour went by, he hadn't called me. So I just simply sent him a text and told him, like, look, I'm about to start doing some things that I need to do around my house. I may not get a chance to talk to you or answer your phone call if you do call. So, you know, maybe you can call me later, and have a great day. And so I put my phone down and proceed to what I'm doing, and he calls me right away. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I literally just said I was about to start doing what I was about to do, so now you decide to call? So then he sends me, after I didn't answer the phone, he sends me a text saying, okay, sorry. And I was like, well, when I finally texted him back, I was like, sorry for what? He was like, because I called you. And I was like, well, that's okay to call me, but it's just that at that time I was already doing something and I couldn't really answer the phone at that time. And so I told him I would call him back later. So later on in the day, I called him back and he didn't answer the phone. Then the next day, he sends me like one of those memes. You know, like, I hate when people let memes and pictures and stuff speak for them. Like, you know, don't send me a good morning photo like of like some vase of flowers or a bowl of fruit with good morning written on it. Like, if you can't take the time to actually send me a text in your own words, then don't bother. Like, I hate memes. I hate photos. Like, I don't like that as a form of communication. That's not my style of communicating at all. And so, like, you know, instead of like going ahead and then calling me back, that's what he sends me, to which I promptly ignore because I hate them. And then he texts me like way later on in the day, like asking me if he could call me or whatever. Don't ask, just do it. You don't have to ask me. I already gave you my number, so you know you can call me. So there's no need to ask. Why are you asking permission to do something that I've already basically given you permission to do? And if you do call me and I don't answer, leave a message letting me know what time is the better time for me to call you back. You know, we don't have to go through this whole passive aggressive thing of, you know, if I don't answer your phone call, you send me a message back telling me, oh, well, I'm sorry for calling you. Or, you know, like, come on, man. Like, we're adults. Let's communicate with our, you know, if you call me and I don't answer, leave me a message. Just let me know, like, do you want me to call you back? What time is better if I call you back at what time? Or do you want to just call me back later? Whatever the case is. But, like, you don't have to ask me, because that's why I gave you my number, so you could call me. But, like, don't call me, like, okay, so we have not really talked since we spoke. We did finally get a chance to speak on the phone on Sunday. He told me he was working. We chatted a little bit. He said he would call me back later. He called me back. Actually, he texted me back Sunday night asking me if he could call me or whatever. You know, it's just like, you know what, dude, just do it. Grow a pair and do it. You don't have to ask. If someone gives you their number, they give it to you so you can call them. You know what I mean? You don't have to ask me to call me. And if we're working people and you call me in the middle of the day when we've never talked, like, so we didn't speak on Sunday. He called me today when I'm at work. He also called me yesterday in the morning when I was at work, and he texted me asking if he could call me yesterday as well. And I was like, no, I'm at work. You know, if you call me at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning, I'm at work. So no, I cannot talk then. You know, like, I'm at work. And I don't, you know, so if you call me and I don't answer, or you text me or whatever, then he told me to call. Like, by this time, I'm already pretty turned off. So then today he sends me another one of those picture memes. Like, by this time I am already like thoroughly turned off. And maybe it looks like I am easily turned off, but maybe I am. Like, I like a man that knows how to communicate. I like a man that takes initiative. Like, you don't have, if I give you my number, you don't have to call me and ask, or text me and ask me to call me, or if you can, or whatever. Or, you know, use some sort of discernment. Like, if you know I work and you work, because we've talked about this, then if you call me during the day, like between the hours of like 8 and 6 or on a Monday, I'm probably not going to be able to talk to you then. So, like, use some discernment. Call in the evening, or, you know, something like that. Like, I don't know, and don't use memes. Stop with the meme conversations. Use your words. That's what they teach you when you're a kid. Use your words. You know, learn how to communicate using words, full sentences, and remember, if somebody gives you their number, that's already your permission that you need to call them. But use discernment when using that number, okay? Don't call them in the middle of the day. call them in the evening or whatever, or even if you ask them what time is the best time to call, if you call and they happen to not answer, let them know what time is the best time to contact you again, or whatever the case is. But like, I don't know, I'm turned off. So this is your dating 101 for the day. Use your words. And don't flood somebody's phone with text messages and memes and stuff. Use your words. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I probably rambled on a lot in this video, but I'm just like, what? Where are we with this right now? Like, what is going on in this world where people can't communicate properly? See y'all later. Happy dating, you guys. Bye. Have a good one and see you in the next video. Peace out.